As you can see, we're doing something different and completely different and out of the realm of most barbers' comfort, but it is in my wheelhouse. So we're gonna do a big transformation, but we're gonna keep him looking sharp. And I'm thinking like a taper. So a lot of this stuff on the back and sides is gonna come off, and a little bit of a taper in the sideburns, but we're gonna keep it flowing back, and I'm gonna show you guys how I handle it. And the good news is, we got a cameraman who's worth his shit today. So I'm gonna flip it over to him. We'll let some people get up in the room and go ahead and take over. I'm probably gonna have you come and stand like right here. And I might move my lights over. Hey. All right, so this is gonna be a huge transformation. That's in your way. I can.
No, you're good.
You good?
You're good.
All right, yeah, this is gonna be a huge transformation. So for now, just to make things easier, I'm gonna comb this out and sort of see what kind of things that I'm gonna be dealing with. And we're definitely gonna need some skills here with shear over comb. We're gonna probably use some clipper over comb a little bit, and we're gonna definitely be using our shears. I have some clips here, but first, before I even section it off, I'm gonna wet it down, and I'm gonna try to comb it out some. So if you guys got any questions to ask, I know that this is one of them cuts that makes a lot of barbers scared. You guys spend so much time worrying about how you're gonna do your next skin fade, how you're gonna blend out your next line, but a lot of you guys forget some of the most basic stuff in our industry, and it's knowing how to use your shears. Let's see how long this actually is. Holy smokes.
Pretty long, yeah.
That thing is long. All right, so we don't really need it to be that crazy long. Let me show you real quick. Because I think your hair wants to flow back pretty nice as long as it's cut anywhere within, this point. Will you be comfortable taking that much?
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to stay as long as it is now.
That's so much better for you, bro.
Yeah.
It will.
You're the pro,
If
so.
it gets too long.
We got Germany in the house. Readings from
In
Germany.
the house. Well, yeah, I got them reading comments too, man. So if you guys got any questions, please feel free to ask.
Someone asked what camera you use.
Right now I'm using an iPhone, but I use an A7S III normally when I film my tutorials. So right now, because his hair is going to flow back, I'm not really too worried about the very front. But as a good practice, I'm going to leave it out, and I'm going to show you why. So for now, we're just going to leave this out. This is like perfect tutorial hair. It really is. So I'm setting in my guideline, and I got a light like literally 1 foot, not even a foot above his head. But I'm going to set in this guideline, and the idea is we want to give him some hair to style and have some control over it when he does. So for now, we'll just get rid of these bangs. Sorry, I'm going to move your face. You're all good. And I think I'm going to move this light out of my way a little bit because it's a little more harm than good where it is. Okay, so
Rusty Blade says, "Hey, bro."
what's up, bro? Thank you so much for the thumbnails, Rusties. That was clutch. I didn't even have to ask. He already did it. Yesterday, went live 2 times in one day, 2 cuts, and he had to make a couple thumbnails as a result of that. And they did do pretty good numbers. All right, so here's your guide. This is the most easy and most basic way to do this. Mohawk guideline, and I have my guide right here. So when I pick up my hair, I got my short piece, and I'm just gonna hold it straight out from the head, from where it grows, which is 90 degrees. And I'm actually only traveling right beside my guide in this little row. Now I'm gonna go to the right side of that same row. Lift it up, there's my guide, that's what I could cut. Now there's my guide, that's what I could cut. Man, you got nice hair, dude.
I appreciate it.
You do, you got really nice hair. This is like what you always hope that a mannequin or something,
Right.
when you work on a mannequin, you wish that it would have like this much hair, this thick, this curl, he could do whatever he wants. So about like that much off the side here. And we're just transferring the guide off the edge here, just a little bit. And if you notice, I'm not putting texture in it or anything. One of the reasons why is I'm gonna add some texture later when I can control it a little bit better. But his hair is a little bit curly and a little bit wavy. And putting the texture in by point cutting it right now, it's just not really gonna give us a whole lot of benefit. You guys are gonna see towards the end, I'm gonna add some texture to really create some movement. Okay, so I could continue to transfer this length. I could continue to transfer this length down the sides, like this, right? And that's gonna turn it into a true 90 degree. But I don't want that. The sides are gonna be a lot shorter when I'm done. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to come off the crown just a little bit. I'm just gonna come off to about the parietal ridge. and around to the back to the crown. And once I have this all pretty much situated at a length that I'm happy with, I'm gonna actually pin this out of my way and I'm gonna begin working on the bottom. I'll show you guys a real easy way to do this. So once I've got all these sections, you know, kind of situated, we're gonna do his bangs real quick. And he wears his hair back, so this is not really that necessary of a step, but this is just such a good example that I couldn't let it go. So I'm gonna comb his hair forward, and if you notice, his interior length is right here. Right? That's pretty short compared to his bangs. I'm gonna cut these bangs, and I'm gonna cut them a good amount right here. He would never wear his bangs forward. He's just gonna wear his hair back. I'm doing this more for an example than any other reason. So we're establishing a 0 length right now for his bangs. And I'm gonna blend this interior length into the exterior length. Some of you guys who've been watching my channel for a while, you guys have seen how I've done this. I wish I had your hair. I really do, bro. You got so much.
I should probably take more care of it.
I just need like half of what you got, dude. That's all I need. Just half of your hair and I'd be like set. Alright, so now I'm gonna comb this back. We're gonna pick up some pie shapings. I promise you guys are gonna love this transformation once it's done. I can already see a lot of this coming together. So there's my interior length, right? And there's my exterior length. Why would I recut the exterior length? I wouldn't, right? So all I need to do is sort of tip my fingers so that I blend that in. I'm right to the front, tip my fingers, and blend that in. This is the example. I talk about this all the time. Just a little tip, and we're gonna take it from the corner, from the interior to the exterior. The hair that is in this part of the comb, I hope you guys understand that the hair that is in this part of the comb is attached to his bangs and hangs straight down. So if I was to just cut that straight, I would cut his bangs. And I know he doesn't wear bangs, and like I said, the whole thing was just an example, but I just wanted to show you guys how you would deal with a client who potentially would wear bangs. So, all right, now let's get into the fun stuff, all right? There's a couple of different ways I could do this, but we are gonna remove a fairly sizable amount. So because of that, I'm gonna pin him up at just about the parietal ridge. I'll wet it to retain some control. We got any questions? How many people we got up in the room?
We got 35.
35 people in the room, that's good.
Ty just asked what's a good set of shears he's willing to spend $100 on.
A great set of shears. You can get a $100 pair of shears from Shear Police, and they're fantastic. That's actually what I use most of the time. These are Mitsutanis. Shear Police sent me these. These are $1,400. You don't have to have no expensive shears like that. And personally, I never would have bought them. But they sent them to me for free because they're just a bunch of badasses. But one of the favorite shears I do have, this is a 7-inch, and this is a Shear Police. Perfect barber shear. And it's pretty cheap too. It might be like 120, 110, 120, something like that. And we're just gonna go ahead and we're just gonna part this around the parietal ridge. And I'm gonna pin this up. Back here too. This doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just doing this more so for the video, just so you guys can sort of see that, like, I've already sort of addressed this area, and I don't really need to re-address it. All right.
Rusty said the Vapor blade is awesome on the low pro.
Oh, the Vapor blade is good on anything. If some of you guys are still using antiquated technology such as the wall, you could do that, and you'll be happy with that Vapor blade. I'll show you guys a cool example here, because it'll just be fun for me. I can actually handle this entire thing with shear over comb, and I do this a lot. So since we're talking about it, like, why not do it? All right, we know that all this is gonna come off because I have to do a taper anyways. So I could actually just go ahead, chomp. A lot of you guys would be afraid to make a move like that, right? But watch this though. I'll go ahead and I'll start to transfer that length up. Hold it, up, hold it, up. Maybe take that down a little bit. And we can begin building that blend just like that. And you're gonna notice if you learn how to do shear over comb good, you're gonna notice that it's gonna actually start to kind of graduate and look really good for you. Boom, just like that. Just a fun example. And what I would typically do is I would address one of these spots really good. Let's say like going up in rows, just like we did on the top, like right here, all the way up to the top. Comb it down to reset. Looking for any funny lengths. I see one right here, right? And I'll pick it up just beside it. And I could transfer this length all the way around the head. But we're going to be going a little bit shorter in the nape area than what I could do with shears. And there's a better way to do this. So we're actually going to switch over to like a long clipper guard. Maybe a 5, maybe a 4. Something like that would be perfect, right? And it's on the Rebels. So a lot of barbers would never want to show you this cut. I'm telling you, this is not going to be easy. We're gonna go through pretty big transformation down here. I bet you that feels weird as hell for you, huh? Yeah, I bet it feels weird. This guy is a rock star, dude. He's got a band. His band's badass. They opened for Wiz Khalifa, and I had the pleasure of filming these guys. That's how I met him. He's a great group of dudes. What's the name of the band?
The Retreats.
The Retreats.
Yes, sir.
You guys sound good, bro. You really did. Y'all lit it up. And you know what's funny? I didn't stay for Wiz. I left.
I didn't either.
I could have been on stage with or like near stage with Wiz Khalifa if I wanted. But like, really, that night it was about to rain, and we had like all that film equipment.
Maybe if you would have watched me, I would have watched him, but
that would have been cool. So I'm not really too worried about getting this super short here, but I'm just trying to touch them at the very bottom with this. We'll use a little bit of clipper over comb to blend that out. It's so long.
oh my god.
It'll feel a little weird for you, bro. But it's all gonna go back really nicely. You don't like that. It'd be a little intimidating with like all this long hair here for some of you guys, and we could just do a little bit of shear, a quiver over comb to just kind of get rid of some of this. I mean, some of you guys may have even tried to like scissor cut this whole thing, but you would have just wound up cutting it again, and there would have been no great benefit to that. That's exactly what I want to see, just like that. I'm getting down to what his hair is. I could kind of see, some of the waves in it. I can kind of see what I'm really dealing with now. That's kind of all this step is. All right. So now we can begin to actually work on our tapers. Anybody asking any questions? You got any comments?
Someone said they haven't been by the channel since you were baby-faced. So it's been a minute, I guess.
I guess so.
Someone asked what neck brush you use.
Oh, neck brush.
Yeah.
Man, talking about like a little neck duster?
Neck duster.
Little one of these?
Yeah.
I guess this is a makeup brush, to be honest. I don't even know. I'm just gonna go ahead and let these trimmers eat. And I'm sort of like situating the lineup. I just kind of want to like define the parameters that I'm gonna work in, and that's all this really is. This will be off his ear just a little bit.
Nelson said, ask the client to review the new trimmer. I'm assuming it's a
How does
saber.
this trimmer feel?
Yeah, how does it feel?
Like I think he's asking me,
Me?
how does this trimmer feel on your neck?
It feels.
Is it like sharp? Is it scratching you?
No, it's not sharp at all. It actually feels like it's mowing it down like very easily, which I've never experienced before. I feel like
He's like, it's been so long for, he's probably not the greatest client to ask because he doesn't have a lot of different trimmers, or he hasn't had a lot of different trimmers, but watch what this does. Y'all watching this? This thing just eats.
It's mowing down, man.
It does. I mean, it just totally plows right through this.
Rusty says, I can't wait to get the saber trimmer. Did you ask Austin, bro?
No, I didn't, but I promise you, I'm going to touch base with him this weekend and I'm going to talk to him for you. I'm sure they want to send you one. I think that one has to come from Italy. All I know is if you were in the United States, you'd have already had yours. All right.
Mosap, love what you're doing. Taught me a lot by watching your vids. Started cutting hair at 17 in 2020 when quarantine started. Watch your videos. Now I cut hair every day in my garage.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man. For everybody, you know, it starts somewhere. I was thinking, so last weekend when I was in Chicago, I just had this like moment where like I just felt like super thankful. I talked about it a little bit on the live, but you know, I grew up in Niagara Falls, New York. It's a real poor and economically repressed place. It's very sad there, to be honest. There's nothing really good about it other than the falls. But I just thought, like, look at how far we've come, man. I came from this really poor area. I live in one of the richest places in the country now, but I was in Chicago with some of like the you know biggest people in our industry, and it was just like a real moment of just thankfulness, like where I could just like sit back, because I'm one of the people who I never feel happy about my accomplishments. I don't ever sit here and revel in my accomplishments. I don't ever really even brag about anything or nothing. I just sort of stay in my lane and I do my thing, and then like it keeps me wanting to grind. It keeps me humble. But, you know, just to sit back and just kind of take it all in, when I was in Chicago, it was like, wow, dude, you really, like, are not in the gutter no more. All right, we're going to taper out his neck. This is a taper blade. It's going to be really soft. So, like, on hair like his, it's going to show every little fucking line, literally. So, I don't want to have any issues. So, I'm going to take the taper blade in with it open, and I'm going to use kind of like a loose wrist, and I'm just going to kind of scoop. I'm going to see what that does. You know what this reminds me of, Riley?
What?
So Alex,
Mm-hmm.
Alex, when I cut his hair, he came in with this long hair looking like Jesus.
Yeah, I saw his hair is long. Right?
And you know, like I kind of did something similar, where like I tapered it, and he was like, dude, he was all happy. But he, you know, even though I would cut his hair for free anytime you ever asked me of it, he's just so busy, so am I.
He's a good guy.
He's the best, dude. I love that dude.
Andrada asks a taper? Question mark.
Yep, exactly. So I just, all I did so far was I scooped out, right? And then I began kind of closing it and going a little bit lower. Now I'm going to kind of like look in the mirror and see, but this is the stuff these barbers on YouTube don't be telling you about, because stuff like this happens where he's got a really strong growth pattern going this way. So I already know not to get into too much beef with that. I'm gonna put a number 1 on, and I'm gonna put the 1 in the open position, and I'm just gonna kind of see if I just use the corner, could I soften that? Just using the corner. And there's a real big reason why I picked up the saber with the taper blade is it's super forgiving, and look, it's kind of like handling it. It's handling the blend for me. You know, the hair is really strange, and sometimes you can do everything right and it won't come out good. But when you learn how to like really, you know, do things like this, where you're like, hey, technically I should be using like a half or an open taper in this spot, but I knew not to. That's you know, I knew to pick up the 1 and I knew not to do that. So we want to get this taper, you know, looking really good. But again, I don't want it to be a super high, super obnoxious taper. You know, that's what I was looking to do right there. And we're gonna feather the rest of this in with some shear over comb, and it's gonna start to kind of go back. When we bring that top back, it's gonna get really full and it's gonna look really nice. So it's got to be kind of a lower taper right here. So I want to be able to see something similar to what I did back there. I'm gonna begin with the open taper. I'm gonna begin kind of flicking it out. Closing it down a little bit, closing it down a little bit. Now if I got my Philip Wolf comb, which that comb unfortunately is out front and I only have one. So we'll get a little taper comb. And I'm just gonna lift that up, taper that a little bit. Who already knows that this is coming together nice as hell and it's about to be dope. And look at the line. Don't even have to bite into his hairline a lot. It would be a sin. He's got such a good natural like lineup going there that it would be a sin to bite too deep into that. Oh, you got the ear hair though.
Oh yeah.
Oh loud.
Oh yeah.
How old are you having ear hair like that, bro?
Dude, I've been having to shave my ear hair for so long. High school.
Oh man, it only gets worse. I got news for you.
It's all the testosterone, you know.
For real. You're not joking, dude.
Harrison asked what you get from joining the exclusive part of the channel.
So when you join the exclusive part of the channel, basically what you get is you get a lot of walkthroughs like this that are cut up, and I could release all the information about it. So YouTube kills me in the algorithms, and I've noticed that I can't just release full-fledged tutorials anymore because people want to be entertained. So at the end of the day, learning for real learners is not as entertaining as it can be. So I can't really give you guys the full story. Well, on my channel with my members, I don't got to worry about thumbnails. I don't got to worry about having all the music and all the titles right. Like I could just release to you guys the information you need to learn how to do this. So it's a real comfortable thing for me. And I'm even going to release like vlogs for members. And I'm going to do giveaways for members and all kind of stuff. So I'm going to select that out of like the comments. So all my members, already over 30 members, if you guys could just drop comments on all those videos, like the membership videos, it doesn't do me any good in the algorithm, but I'm telling you to drop the comments because I'm paying attention and I'm going to pick a winner. After you guys have all been around for a month, I'm going to look at your tags. Your tags are going to change to a different color. When they do, I'm going to select some winners, and that should actually coincide with the release of the Saber. So maybe Saber, maybe Rebel, maybe I'll just pick you as a winner and ask you what you want. Mm-hmm. How about that? So, all right. We're just going to clean that up a little bit right there. And we're going to start to dial in some of that longer hair in a second. Using some Shear over comb.
Danny asked how you can sign up for the membership.
Well, you can look at the link in the description to every single video. So YouTube wants you guys to be members. It's the one good thing they've ever done for me. But YouTube wants you guys to be members. So any one of my videos, if you click the drop-down box, you'll see join this for exclusive perks and memberships, yada yada yada, and it's right there. Mm-hmm. So once you do that, you'll get access. So far, there's 2 tutorials that are like full-fledged everything, and there's going to be more. So I can just drop those tutorials at any time, and I don't make you guys wait. You guys get the content first. Because like I said, it doesn't impact me in the algorithm at all, and I had to do this, y'all. Not because I really wanted to, but because this is how I feed my family. Like I'm practically full-time on YouTube, and if I am not doing things that feed the algorithm appropriately, it impacts me financially. Then I don't get sponsors, then I don't get help, then I don't get pretty much anything. Then I'm just doing it for nothing, and I'm taking time away from my family and away from my shop and other businesses. So I have to do the things that I got to do. All right, so now we're at a point. This is where the fun kind of begins for me. Like this is my favorite part where it starts to come together in a really nice way, and I can sort of go through and just clean it up with some Shear over comb and make sure that that's all laying the way I want it to lay. Make sure that the long hairs are not interfering with my look, and just taper it a little bit.
Nelson asked if it's a slimline blade on the trimmer.
No.
No.
It's a slimline style of blade. He's right. It's not the actual slimline blade. So what we're doing, what Gamma's doing is they're going to release a different length version of the X Pro blade. And I have one of the first ones. I got like one of the only ones in existence. To tell you the truth, it's just a fun blade to work with, and I'm probably going to keep it on the clipper, on the trimmer. But the other one that's just a little bit bigger, it's the same. Cut quality wise, it's all the same. It's just sometimes people have like really short vertical bars, and it makes it super easy to get in there.
Fire, bro, says Nelson in response to that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Someone asked how you do that. I guess he was referring to arching with the shears.
On
Yeah, on the other side.
Well, sometimes the trimmer does a great job, but like I always try to pull this down, and you'll notice that a lot of these hairs are up as part of the length. So if I just lay the shear down, I can usually clear that out pretty easy. So, and if yesterday you were paying attention, you guys know that I don't like using the thinning shears a lot, and I'll show you an area where it would be dumb to use the thinning shears. So he's got a growth pattern, and his hair is going to take time to relax too, because it's used to being really long, and now it's a lot shorter. But if I was to use thinning shears in here, it would cause this to start sticking out, and I don't want to do that. However, on the other side, you'll notice that his curl changes, and I will use thinning shears because it's going to be better. It's going to help me to relax that curl a little bit and make it sort of lay the same way that this side lays. So if you guys don't know this, hair with good elasticity, especially like hair like his is unruined by chemicals or anything else. Hair with good elasticity, it can stretch and return up to 50% of its length. So I could sit here and keep doing this edge up till I'm blue in the face when it's wet, but I won't. So you can see that he's got a little bit more curl right here. It's curling here, it's curling here. And one of the ways that we're gonna relax that curl, not yet really, because I can't really see 100% what I'm doing, we're gonna wind up using some texturizing shears. So now I think I'm at a point with the rest of the cut. I just wanna check the back and make sure that, like, shear over comb wise, I'm satisfied with it, because I can sort of see this is all starting to catch up now. Now at this point, your shear over comb, like your guide is pretty much the rest of your canvas. So you're looking for anything that's sticking out, anything that's not acting right, anything that's not acting funny. Huge advantage to using shear over comb is you're cutting hair, you're holding it out to 90 degrees with no tension at all. So in essence, you're cutting hair how it lays. You're cutting hair for how it lays. And that's what you really want to do with these type of cuts. It's sort of like hair shaping. And if I wanted to, another way that I could do this, like if I was having issues with some of this not laying right, I could actually pick up my razor, and probably should put a blade in it. This blade is the Essence razor from Titleist. Link is in the description for it, and you guys could use the code Eddie and you could save 10%. But this blade is like $380. So I know that some of you guys don't need to spend that kind of money, but if you do want to spend that kind of money, you can. So if I just go over some of those thick areas, and if I hold the blade more flat, it's gonna kind of like thin the hair more, and I want to make sure that this hair is wet when I do this. And if I hold the blade more to 90 degrees, it's called terminal blending. It's gonna wind up causing it to get pretty much cut completely off. So at this point, there's one more thing I could do before I begin drying his hair, and I might as well just go ahead and line and clean up this. I want to make sure that this taper, that the line looks really good on both sides, and I might as well finish that out.
Rusty said he's scared to take a chunk out when he does shear over comb.
Well, you'll take chunks out. But you see me moving really fast, and the truth is you don't have to move really fast. That's something that I think I make a mistake with some of my students, like when I'm trying to explain. You see me doing it fast because I was talking about this earlier with John, the guy who's holding the camera. I've done over 100,000 haircuts. It's become very routine for me, you know? And that doesn't mean that you have to move fast. I don't have to move as fast as I do. I just tend to. So I'm feeling with my thumb over top of this little bump. This is something you'll learn in Razor 101, but always feel with the thumb before you shave the area.
Jacqueline, a lot of barbers out there neglecting their shear work. Soak it up, y'all.
I bet this video will flop because a lot of barbers don't care about shear. They don't care about shear work. They really don't.
Don't let it flop.
No, I know. Don't let it flop. Y'all smash that like button if you're enjoying this lesson. I appreciate it. How many people in the room versus how many likes do we got?
We got 41 people, 17 likes.
41 people, 17. What y'all trying to do over here?
We had almost 50 at one point. Now 18 likes.
All right, that's good. That's good. Just back
20.
up for a second. Smash that like button if you guys like what you're seeing. Remember, we did this with the taper blade. So now I want to make sure that these two hooks come down at the same length. And this is, this is a tough and tricky spot because all of his hair is different little growth patterns and stuff. This is the part that's really tough to dial in. So I'm looking in the mirror and I could tell that my hook on this side could come in just a tiny bit. I want these to both kind of fizzle out at exactly the same spot. And the good news is I didn't really have to take a whole lot of his hairline. I always try to minimize how much hairline that I'm taking out. Because if you go into his hairline, what's going to happen is he's going to grow back, you're going to look bad, and he's going to look bad. So it's just no good for nobody. So now, kind of happy with the way this is shaping up.
Mosab, what's the best detailers in your opinion?
Detailing clippers, I
Yeah,
assume.
I'm assuming so.
I don't think there's a better detailing clipper than the Saber. I mean, it's funny that it would be Mo who was saying that because Mo Cuts around here, he loves that Saber. And he swears up and down by it. And almost everybody who uses the Saber, if you put a taper blade on it, it's really a shame that it didn't come with one. I have tried to approach that subject before, like maybe we should make them come with a taper blade, but it would just cause a catastrophic problem for all our distributors. So it is what it is. Just gonna have to buy an extra taper blade, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked how high you go with the taper in the back. I guess what's the limit? Occipital bone? Or?
I try to, most of my tapers, on the general amount of people, I'm going to try to take it as high as I can because I want there to be a good contrast. But with his case, like you guys can see this sort of style that we're going through, we're trying to keep this all flowing back nice for him. And I don't want to have a super high taper. I don't want it to look like, you know, his hair is just disappearing back there. All right, y'all. So we're going to take down the top and we're going to see what the hell we did.
How long did it take you to grow your beard?
I've been growing my beard for a little over a year now. Okay, so now you can see some of those really long hairs are there from our original cut on the top. And now that we've already addressed the sides and we know what we got, we're going to finish off that 90-degree section just a little bit. Let me just hold it out right here and you can see right where I left off. And that's pretty much all I want to do for now. There's going to be a couple real long ones in here because again, when I pinned this up, I was guessing where I was at. Now I know where I'm at, so I can finish this whole little section up, making sure that I'm holding it straight out from where it grows. Otherwise, I'm going to wind up with some really long hairs here that I'm not going to need. I'm not really fond. So now, hold it straight out. And we're going to try to kind of pick up right where we were in the back there. I'm going to get that to blend in, especially in the back. Like we don't need big chunks like this hanging off. And you can almost pick up some of that hair that you did your shear over comb with, and you can kind of lift it up on that exact same angle, and we're going to get that to blend in.
Somebody runs Sally who runs Connor. You see what I'm saying? And then if we just all part of it, then we're just all, you see what I'm saying? No,
Right here. This last little piece is going to be a little bit longer over here. I'm just going to hold that straight out. I'll show you guys. We'll go back up to the top and make sure that we got our guide in the right spot. Take that down. Take that down. Take that straight out from where it grows, and that's how you're going to find those long hairs. Straight out from where it grows means 90 degrees. No matter where I am on the head. It doesn't mean that I pick it up here and then direct it back, because that hair is actually coming from the bangs. So straight out from where it grows just means 90 degrees. So what we got going on here is exactly what I wanted. I want there to be long hair on top. It'll come back in a nice wave. I'll finish off this last section here. Big Money Sturge is complaining out there. I hear him. That's what I want, boys. Right there. Look at that thing. That thing's gonna look Wolf of Wall Street good. Be the young wolf right here.
Young Leo.
Y'all see how we tied this together? That's why I was getting excited because I could see this, and sometimes these transformations, man, it's just a lot of fun. You know, just a lot of fun to kind of give somebody something completely new that they've never had, and something that really, you know, they like a lot.
They just don't utilize it.
So you said you're a salesman?
Yeah, I'm doing insurance sales by day, music by night.
That's what's up. So he's music by night, insurance sales by day. Now you tell me, you look at a guy like this with a cut like that, and you just tell him, take my money. That's what you do. You say, take my money, please, and give me a good product. On this side, the curl's gonna get a little tricky, but that's cool. Love it. Now, let's see if we can't squeak off some of these little long ones towards the very bottom here that aren't going to do us much good, especially towards the back. Like, I wanted that section to be disconnected. I want it to be sort of coming back and flowing.
Snake Doc said your sales are going to go up.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, you know, if your hair is really long, you know, it's funny. Some professions are like that, you know. I think that things are getting a lot more like chill though. Like I think tattoos are becoming a super normal thing, and like people aren't really tripping about, you know, some of the stuff that they used to. All right, now in order to really tie this style together and be able to see what I want to see, I want to style this up. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of forming cream. It's actually called Brilliant Cream in, and then I'm gonna blow dry his hair backwards, and we're gonna see where we really are once his hair is dry. This is gonna cut down on the frizz, and this is gonna bring out some of his wave. And notice that I'm putting it in with his hair still kind of in the damp. That's kind of what I want to do, because I want to bring out these curls, and it'll cut down some of that frizz. So now his hair is like still super long on top. And another thing that you guys could do too, like to check these type of haircuts, is one of my favorite ways to check it. If you don't check it, how will you know if it's straight, right? So I'll put my fingers in, and I'll pull it out like this. Love it. I'll put my fingers in, I'll pull it out, and you can feel with your fingers if one side was longer or if you had a long spot in there, you can feel it. Not to mention, we just got that product in there like hella good. So that's good, and I might go steal a brush from Chad, because we gotta blow dry this thing back. This brush is not gonna be good enough for how much hair he's got. So let me grab a brown brush that's a little bit bigger. Be right back. And if we open this and there's music, don't listen to it. I'll get demonetized.
I haven't checked what it looks like yet.
It's looking good,
For a
man.
big reveal.
It's looking good. It's a little different, but it's good.
That's what I want.
It goes with the style though.
She was your boss. Is she wildin'? Hold up. I'm live right now. Give me a minute.
Rusty's got a thumbnail coming for you.
Oh, please do, man. Please do. Rusty's the man with that. All right, so we're gonna use the Gamma Excel. I got it all the way hot, and really all I'm trying to do right now is just blow dry it back into the style that I had in mind since the beginning. We're definitely gonna make some small adjustments to the actual cut, but it's kind of hard for me to make that adjustment until the end. Like, this is the difference between going to super cuts where they're gonna let you walk out with your hair wet, you know? And going to somebody who like really cares and wants to see what it's gonna look like when you style it. You know, if he walks out of here and it ain't right, it's my fault. You know, it's gotta be. I gotta be able to see it. I'm just trying to hold it in the same shape. And in general, you want to keep the blow dryer as hot as you can for now. Like as hot as you can take it. And then when the hair starts to get dry, which it's not yet, so I'm not going to do it, we're going to hit the cool button and we're going to sort of set it in place. Anybody got any other questions?
Not so far.
Shout out some of the names. How about that? Why don't we shout out some of these guys who are contributing in these lives all the time?
Where do I see the names now? They all disappeared.
You
Or
can pull
come.
down on the screen
Oh,
with
okay.
your thumb,
Oh, okay.
and they all come back up.
Rusty, Danny, Jay Beats and Waves, Harrison,
Where is in the house?
Sneak Dot, Nelson Figueroa, Jacqueline,
Appreciate y'all.
Harrison, Heaven,
I
Tyler
appreciate
Thompson.
y'all. Is Amber in
and
the
Drop.
house?
I
She
don't-
always jumps in too.
I don't see Amber. Augustin, Andrada,
You might be working.
Mosab,
Mocut?
Mosab, Thiab.
Mocut is in the house? Is he? Alright, I'm gonna hit that cool button now, y'all. Hit the cool button, comb it up and into that style that I wanted. So remember, this cut is slightly disconnected. You got some longer hair on the top. What we wanted. We wanted to keep it longer. We wanted to make sure it flows back. You'd probably have a heart attack if I cut the top. That short. I'm hitting that cool button. Feathering it back into that plate.
Adrian says he uses the Andis Masters and been thinking about switching clippers. What do you recommend?
If you're using Andis Masters and you're thinking about going towards Gamma, you might want to try picking up a Mythic. Mythic's really heavy and cuts a lot like an Andis Masters. And it's got the weight that the Andis Masters has. You know, the Masters had the cordless version really light. Really light. And I didn't feel the same at all to me. I was actually talking about that with one of the Andis reps when I was in Chicago. And you know, I just laid out the facts, man. I just said, you know, look, Andis, you guys are not putting out the best quality of products anymore. Like longevity wise, they're good, but they don't really have the best specs, and they're very expensive. You know, that's the same thing goes for Wall. They don't really have the best specs anymore, and they're very expensive.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are shouting out the Rebels.
The Rebels are the shit, man. It's hard to beat the Rebels. But I'm just saying, if you want something that feels more similar to the Masters, I would grab a Mythic and maybe put a taper blade on it.
Oh yeah.
So here we go, guys. This is where we get to really pinpoint what we want to do. And now is a good time. We can use some texturizing shears. We can really just blend in that nice low taper. Boy, that thing is looking nice. That's what I want to see. Flowing back, looking good, right? That's what we're looking to see. We can mess this up a little bit. A couple long ones. That's what I'm talking about. It's like make a hair talk to you. Do what I ask, hair. All right, so right here, just because of the way this growth pattern is, this hair here is thicker than I want it to be. I don't want it to be shorter. I just want it to be thinner, so that when it lays, it's not so strong right there. That breaks that up a little bit. I'm gonna hold that out, and I'm just gonna thin that out a little bit. I told you guys on this side we're gonna wind up doing a little bit of texturizing shears, thinning shears. So how much more curly it is right here.
Jacqueline says his hair looks really healthy too.
It is. I mean, that's the thing is like, a lot of times when you see hair his length, especially if it's on a woman's hair or whatever, like they chemically service it so much. They do so many things to it chemically that you never really get a chance to see hair like this. That's what I was telling him. Like, his hair is just so nice and so healthy. You can do any type of style you want with this hair.
Adrian says I've been thinking either the Ergos or the Rebels. What do you all think?
I would go Rebels, personally. But the Ergos are, if you go with the X Ergo, it comes with a taper blade. And that's a really, really forgiving, good clipper. Very easy to blend with. In fact, I got one sitting in that box right there. I asked for him to send me another one just the other day because I just kind of missed cutting with it. And I was going through some old cuts and I was just like, wow, I really killed that cut when I had an Ergo. And I just thought, I need to go back and mess with that a little bit more.
Shout out to Danny Sanchez. I've been cutting in the garage for a year. I'm nowhere near bro, but better than day one. Started with some cheap Amazon clippers, went to Magic Clips, then Seniors, but I haven't put down my Rebels.
That's great, man. That's great. So now that I got this pretty much the way I want it, I'm gonna try to get this line perfect. Seems like every time you cut some curly hair and you comb it again, another piece seems to find its way into the, area you want to have clean.
Adrian says, the one who asked about the Ergos or Rebels, that he's only been cutting hair for 3 months.
It's okay. Sure, it's never gonna hurt you to have some good tools. If you're taking it serious, you guys, it's permissible to buy something that's gonna make your life a little bit easier. There's things that you'll spend money on that are not gonna make your life easier. I mean, shoot, I know it. I waste money on all kinds of things, but I can honestly say, like, most of the stuff I buy that helps me make money, it's something that I never really regret. There's definitely things that you buy that don't make no sense. Like, Adrian, do you go to the bar? Just go to the bar like 2 nights, and all of a sudden you could have bought, could have bought something that might have made your life a little easier. You never know, right? It's like me. Football season is just around the corner. Bills are about to play the Colts today, and like 4 o'clock. I don't really care about preseason all that much, but I'm really gassed up for.
It's game 1.
Game 1 is going to be a big game. We got to go to the LA Rams, former Super Bowl champs, and we got to play them in LA. And I would be okay if we lost that game, but I'm going live. If we win that game, I'm just saying, like, we punched the former Super Bowl champ in the mouth like that. Oh man, I'll be super stoked. I better clean off this ear too. We're having a 2-for-1 special on the ear cleaning. So I guess I'll do both. Speaking of that, how's the eyebrows and all that?
Ronald says the fire department's on the way. I guess he says it's fire.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Ronald. Appreciate that.
And Adrian's only 15 years old
15 years old?
and cutting hair.
God bless you, man. Honestly, if you could keep your priorities straight, I know that 15 years old is a tough age. It can be pretty impressionable. It can be pretty easy to go any direction in life. But if you keep your priorities straight and really focus on this, I mean, God, by the time you're 18, you'd be a murderer. I know people who've done stuff like that. When I worked at the barber school, there were students that would come in, like you, that had been cutting hair since they were like 15, and they didn't really have to learn a whole lot. They were rough around the edges. There was some stuff they needed to learn, but they didn't need to learn a whole lot. They were really ready to go.
We got Barber Louie in the house.
Barber Louie in the house? Dude, he's exactly what I was talking about. I was just talking about Barber Louie when I was saying that. This guy, when he came to barber school, this guy had a line of like around the block. Super talented and did not need to learn anything at barber school. He had been cutting hair from a pretty young age. I don't know how he got away with that, to be honest, because he must have had them people at the place he lived thinking he was selling drugs. He had to line up more heads to line out the door. As a matter of fact, like one of his first days out of barber school, he got a job working at the same shop I used to work at. And, I asked him, you're going to have some clients coming in, and he's like, yeah. This guy did like 20, day 1.
Jeez.
It never stopped. It never stopped. He's got real talent. But that's what I'm saying is like, there's a barber in here, just in case you didn't hear, Louis, there's a barber in the room, and he just started cutting hair, and he's only 15 years old. I'm not sure how old you were when you started, but you definitely had a lot of experience before you started school, so you keep your priorities on point, man. You can really go far in this business. All right, man.
Still haven't looked at it yet.
Dog, you ready? You ready? Yeah. All right, let's capture his reaction.
All right,
Al. You ready? Bam! Check it out, bro.
Oh my god. That is not what I looked like when I came in.
I know, dude.
Wow.
Look at the thumbnail, y'all. That's what he looked like.
Dang.
But this is cool because it can be kind of messy and still you at the same time. But when you got to go to work, You can just sort of slick it back, throw a little hairspray in it.
Exactly what I wanted.
Thanks, man.
Sure.
Oh, let me show you the back though. This is like the coolest part is the back. You gotta see this.
I'm master at work over here.
Thanks, bro.
By the
I don't know
way,
if you're able to see this that well, but
Oh, what?
yeah.
That's clean.
See, it fades all the way out at the very bottom.
That's crazy.
Check out the sideburns too, so you can see like a little closer. Like it just,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So it blends all the way out. Hell yeah.
Dang.
It's dope, dude. Do you want to do anything with the beard?
Sure.
Let's do it.
I would love to.
My guess is you probably never had your beard lined up. Have you had your beard lined up by a barber before?
No, I have not.
Just to guess by how long his hair was when he walked in. Even if he had, it'd be a while. All right, so what I'm gonna do, he's got a good strong jawline. I'm gonna go right up to the corner of his jaw there, and I think I'll give him something to rest his head on.
Do you have a beard trimmer recommendation?
Just to like knock down the length.
Yeah, just like for the masses, you know.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of options that you can use, but like for like knocking down the length, most of the time, oh there it is. I was like, what the hell did I open back? For just knocking down the length, most of the time it's nice to just use like a clipper. You know, so if you could use like a fairly inexpensive clipper, maybe you gotta go get it from Walmart or something.
Like a Phillips or something?
Yeah, I mean they got clippers. They got like little clippers at Walmart. You can just put your head right back like that.
Oh.
But yeah, like for making the lines, the other thing is trimmers, and sometimes they sell these with guards, but like they tend to snag when you use them like that, so it's a little bit better to just use like a clipper. Gotcha. Like a number 1 on. We got one that's pretty cheap. It's like it's called a Gamma Protege. You can actually get the clipper and the trimmer for like $99, and that's like professional grade barber stuff. If you did that for you would be like, you know, it would be like overkill, but it would be awesome because every time you go to do your beard, you can do the bottom, the top, and not to mention they're not bad for body grooming. I mean, in all reality.
that's what I use at home too, the proteges.
Yeah, me too.
They're good.
Like I had to shave my whole chest for my tattoo that I got the other day, and I was trying not to shave my chest at all until then, and yeah, it was like nice to get it that close before I did that. What's up, Stir? Come on here, big boy, Stir.
The next guy's here.
My next guy's here.
Sterling.
What up? You too live.
What up?
By the way, Louis was 12 when he started cutting hair.
He was 12?
Yeah.
Dude, no wonder. No wonder. It makes sense, to be honest. Like, Louis is the real deal, bro. Like, y'all don't know the Barber Louis, but look at his Instagram when you get a chance.
I know Barber Louis.
He knows Barber
I
Louis.
know him real well.
And I met Sterling's boss this morning.
Barber
His other boss
Louis.
this morning. He'd be mad. Look at him.
Barber Louis used to cut us up in high school.
Yeah.
And his grandma, he would do it in the back of his house, in like a little lanai area. And his grandma used to make like me sandwiches and stuff. That's how far he goes back.
I'm telling you, dude. When
He
I used
didn't
to
want
get
to do
like a
nothing
fade, I used to get a 2 on top and skin on the sides, and I've had a lot of barbers do it. I don't think I ever really had one that I liked as much as when Louis did it. When Louis did it, it was just like, whew.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why. He used Andy's the fast feed. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
I thought the key to a good fade was the fast feed, but
That's how influencers work,
these
bro.
hands.
It's like, it's the same for every industry. I mean, think about it. You see Tiger Woods playing with the Nike golf clubs, you start thinking, hey, maybe I'd be as good as Tiger Woods if I got them golf clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But what really made Tiger Woods good, and what really made us all good at doing this is doing it. Putting in the hours, putting in the time. That's what makes you good at it.
So Jordans don't make you jump higher?
No, they certainly don't for me anyways. I remember when I was younger, I got the Jordans with the pumps. Lean forward.
The Jordans with the pumps.
They weren't Jordans, I don't know. They were
Those
Nike.
are Reeboks.
Yeah, Reeboks. I thought they were Nike, but I remember pumping them things up and really thinking they was doing something.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna pump these up and I'm gonna run faster or something's gonna happen. But nah.
that scissor cut's crazy.
You like that, Star?
Yeah.
Look at his face. Look at Stern's face. Zoom in on that. It looks like he's looking at food, bro.
Because the fade,
Bro, it's like, yo, that's weird.
you can learn like the fade techniques and get a nice fade, but like a scissor cut like that, you gotta feel where the hair wants to go and where you want it to lead up to. It's the barber's eye, is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Like, it's not just you can put a guard on and get that. You gotta.
Nah, a lot of
you
people
gotta
do
craft
that so many weird ways too. Like, you know, I've watched barbers on YouTube do cuts that are similar to this, and I just felt like they made it so complicated. Like, for me, if I really break down what I actually just did, I addressed the length that I wanted to keep on the top, and then I pinned up most of the top. And then I took care of the back and sides the way I wanted it to be, and then I tried to blend the two together. That's really all it was, you know? That's how I would handle something like this. But I've seen some people use like block graduation, do all these crazy guidelines, take 45 minutes to do this cut, and it comes out exactly the same. So, you know, it's just kind of like, to me, I try to keep things as simple as possible. When you learn from me, you learn from my channel, I just try to make it so that, you know, you can actually take this to the field. Like, you guys could actually do this cut. It'll take a little bit of practice, but you'll get it. This blade is getting dull. I could tell right away. And the first thing you want to do is change it, because if you guys try to use a dull blade to cut a sharp line, it's just so easy to make a mistake. So much better that you don't do that. I'll take a little bit of area reconnection.
See you, Sterling.
So if you guys got his face like all lubed up with like shave gel, that's good. But when you try to like stretch the skin, it could make it hard. I can't even see who I've got waiting for me because it's on my phone.
Oh.
My booked in app is on my phone. I use booked in for booking all my haircuts. But I'm live right now on my phone, y'all, and I got more people waiting for me out here. I figured maybe I could hook Riley up and do this beard real quick. Oh, you know what? I know who it is. That kid's been coming to me since the day I moved here, practically. I moved here. I worked at Great Clips. I cut his hair. He was super young. So was I. I was like 19. And now I'm 35 and I'm still cutting his hair. Isn't that crazy? I got 2 clients that have been with me as long as he has. And that's it. I've even had clients that were like, you know, really close like that pass away and stuff. I mean, you touch a lot of lives in this business, and you know, that's just unfortunately how it is. I remember when this one kid, loved him to death, man. He was like really a close customer. He was only 23 and he died. I felt horrible. Like, I was so worried that the family was gonna ask me to like cut his hair at the funeral, or, like cut his hair, like, and I was just so close with him that I was just like, I mean, the anxiety I felt that week. I made up my mind that I was going to do it if they asked, but they didn't ask. And when we went to the funeral, I mentioned it, and they were like, "We weren't going to do that to you. We knew you guys were close." And I was like, "Yeah." It was just horrible, a horrible situation, y'all. All I gotta say is don't do drugs, man, for real. Smoke the herb, but don't do no drugs. If we would have stayed at that, my man would still be here. See that line? That's the tricky stuff too, that you just can't do it without a straight razor. I mean, it's not hard to do this on your own, like with a straight razor.
I actually do have a straight razor, but I don't know anything.
It takes a little bit of practice,
Crazy,
you know, but
yeah.
it's not impossible for you to.
I don't get those results, but I do have a straight razor.
It's not, yeah, it's, you know, it just takes a little practice, bro. That's all. I'm gonna hit you at the bottom with the electric shaver, but I got the rest good.
If you guys like cars and you're bored after this video, go watch Riley Stewart on YouTube.
That's right, Riley Stewart. This guy's got a YouTube channel too. Go over there and give this man a sub, yo. Let's help him out. Have you been doing a lot of videos lately?
I slowed down for a little bit for a while, but I have one that I'm about to upload actually. So
Oh, cool. What's it about?
I have
sneak peek.
I have a Subaru WRX that's heavily modified, and I did a car review on it. I've been doing a lot of reviews lately of
Did you see Alex's?
Alex's. What does he drive?
Alex got a Subaru STI.
What?
Well, it's a WRX, but it's
Yeah.
modded like an STI.
Really?
Yeah, it's got turbos and everything.
I need to hit that boy up.
Yeah, you really should.
I didn't know
It's
that.
clean, dude. It's like a darker gray,
Mhm.
not like the light gray.
Right.
It looks really sweet.
Dang. Come on, Alex. Why aren't you hitting me up already?
I know, dude. And he had just learned how to drive it stick. He was still a little spotty, but I think he's pretty comfortable now. He's just learning how to. We'd already been drinking, so I didn't want to take it first trip, but I wanted to ride it so bad. It reminded me of my Mustang. I think it's great, you know, when you're young, man, get those cars and have that fun, like, for real, because when you get older and you got kids in the car and stuff like that, like,
Yeah, have fun while you can. That's what I'm trying to do.
yep,
Trying to highlight the South Florida car people.
that's awesome. Dude, you know how I got this Mustang? I was broke, right? I had just started dating this girl. She was gonna become my wife. I didn't know that though. But I found this Mustang that I fucking loved. But I didn't tell her that I didn't have the money or nothing, you know? But she knew. She knew. So I didn't tell her that I didn't have the money. And my future father-in-law, we were over their house one day. He pulls me aside and he tells me the story about how when he was my age, there was this car that he really wanted and he couldn't buy it. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. He loaned me, didn't barely know me, loaned me $12,800.
Wow.
And I paid him back in a year. But like, you know, he took the measure of me and just decided that I wasn't gonna rip him off or whatever, and I never would have. Like, I was just so appreciative because people in my own family just didn't have that money.
He saw himself in you too, though.
100%.
He wanted to
And he
give
made
back.
it possible for me to have that car, and I love that car. I love that car. I sold it for my truck. I love my truck, but super cool, dude. That's how you gotta do it, bro. Just real sloppy and like kind of cool.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Jeez.
That is fresh, bro. Love it. Love it. With the little aftershave on it.
You're an artist, man.
Thanks, bro. I'm trying to tell you that before. I never even said that. Dude, a lot of times I meet people, I don't even tell them I'm a barber, and I don't even
I
tell
knew
them
you were a
nothing
barber.
about it.
I definitely knew you were a barber. I had a YouTube channel and everything. I was like, I need to grow my hair out a little bit more. I haven't gotten a haircut since I last saw you. It's been like 4 or 5 months.
It's funny, this guy who's actually waiting, he's a car guy too. He goes to all the car meets, all the car things. He's just really into it. All right, y'all, check out the cut. I hope you like it. I think it's pretty dope. It's fun to, you know, create these big transformations and, you know, do this type of stuff. So this has just been a really fun one, man. So I will catch you guys soon. You know, keep it locked, stay subscribed, and keep that notifications on because you never know when I'm going to pop up and do one of these lives, and neither do I. So it's kind of a secret to me too. All right. Hope you guys all have a great day. Have a great weekend. Be safe. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. This is the YouTube Barber Academy. I'm Mr. Eddie Barber, and I'm out of here. Peace. Kill it, man.
Can I get a